I'm Captain Trip with Boat Test, and today I'm on the Solara 310 SB. This boat has a standout feature which you don't see often on boats of this size, and that is what the SB stands for, and that's Sport Bridge. So I climb up here and I feel like I'm running a bigger boat, like a sport fish or something. And this is really a salty feel up here, and it's gonna also give me a fantastic viewing point if I'm cruising around the Keys, crossing over to the Bahamas. This is where I'm gonna wanna run the boat. Let's kind of treat this video as if I was gonna run the boat for the day. What are some of the steps I'm gonna go into first, and some of the things I'm gonna inspect before I take the boat out. Then we'll dig into how we're gonna enjoy the boat. So first thing I would do is dig into the mechanical spaces. That's where some of the most important things on the boat are. Opening this up, I can immediately see a lot of my important things. 2 bilge pumps, and we're gonna check that both of those work, and I did, and I can actually hear them coming on and off. I have a through-hole seacock that's easily accessible. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna move that, be sure that it's working properly. Then I see my strainer for my raw water intake and fuel water separators, fuel tanks with all of the fills and things like that on top. Everything looks easily accessible, clean. A lot of double clamps in here, just what I like to see. Got my fresh water tank. Let's see what's underneath this one. So hot water heater, looks like a water pump, some electrical things. That's shore power control, and a few breaker panels and bus bars. Everything is up high off the water line, which is what you want to see. You don't want that salt water getting all over your electrical components on the boat. And now let's climb into the next one. Just across. This one right now has some of those U.S. Coast Guard compliant items like we spoke of.
The house batteries are lithium iron phosphate with 900 amp hours of house battery power. There's a 3000 watt inverter, a 60 amp AC charger, and twin 50 amp DC to DC chargers. With the use of the inverter, you have all the creature comforts of home without the use of a generator or the maintenance of a generator.
And I like that I can see all my wires are well labeled. I see starboard DC charger, starboard DC ground, ground stud, charger channel 3. So having all those wires labeled are gonna make it easy if you tend to tinker and do things on your own boat. Next up, I'm gonna make my way back to the power and the stern of the boat. This is powered by twin Yamaha 300, should push the boat along really well. And I can see we have what Solara is calling their clear path transom, and it is indeed a clear path. Normally, you would see the rigging come out of the engine and then forward and tuck down into a splash well or something like that, but they have this proprietary elbow joint where they can turn the rigging, cut it back, and enter the boat a little farther aft, which enables them to have this clear path transom. Then there's this railing that's both port and starboard, and an additional permanent fender back there. So if you're pulling a tender up behind the boat, or a kayak or something like that, or maybe even getting a little too close to a dock, that's gonna be there to help you out just a little bit. And now, taking advantage of the clear path transom, I come over to the starboard side. We're on the swim platform. The telescopic ladder is tucked away, very well hidden, and I would be utilizing that along with this grab handle and this pole as I come in and out of the water, like I would do constantly if I was on this boat in the Bahamas with the Keys. Then we have our 2 fuel fills, and then a hot and cold pressurized freshwater shower with controls right here at the transom where you want it to rinse off that salt water before you come aboard. And moving a little farther forward, appears to have a bait well with that clear lid so you can be checking on your bait throughout the day. There's also a little shelf up under here. Might be a good spot for a dock line, shore power hookup, and then if you want to do some hardcore fishing, a Scotty mount, and you have some holders for your weights if you're doing some deep dropping, and a tow rail, and a little jump seat right here that can be utilized if you have extra passengers on board. But when you're in that fishing mode, flip this up. You have the bolster here. We have some switches for our courtesy lights, washdown pump, and underwater and overhead lights. At the aft end of the cockpit, you can tell something happens here. Let me show you. Simple flip down of the transom, and this flips up for an aft facing seat, but it's also nifty where it will convert all the way to a forward facing seat as well. So this is truly ambidextrous. If you want to open up the seating in the cockpit, add that to this seat on the port side and the jump seat, and you have a lot of seating in here. But if you want to do some fishing, you can close it all up and utilize this as a hardcore fishing machine. And something else that I just noticed are 4 large cockpit drains. So not only do you have these doors that can be opened to evacuate some water out of the cockpit, that's just one feature that lets you know that Solara is thinking about this boat being used for some serious cruising or fishing. And also on the port side, near the transom, is an electric Kenyan grill. If you want to cook up that catch, you can do so. Let's say it's finally time to get underway. Let's go get familiar with the helm. Remember, this is actually the lower helm. There's a second helm just above me, which we'll explore later in the video. But this is probably where I may start my day. Maybe it's cooler out. Come in here where it's more comfortable. And I can see all of my screens, 2 large Garmin's, another Garmin here in the center, Yamaha screens so I can be checking on my engines while underway, push button switches, VHF radio, and then here we have start stop for my engines, an AC vent. Let's get that open. There we go. Just below that are the primary controls for the autopilot. Then all the way to starboard is the control for the bow thruster. Now that comes standard on all of Solara's boats, especially this 31, because that would be handy as you're coming into dock, because after all, this is essentially a pilot house boat, so you can't get quick and easy access to the dock, so they need to make docking easier. So with that thruster combined with your twin engines in the back, you can really have a lot of control over the boat in those docking situations, which I think is very important with a pilot house boat. Just farther back, you do have the binnacle with the twin controls. So when you're splitting those sticks for those Yamahas, and they are Yamaha controls as well, which is a good thing.
The large round control is for the auto leveling trim tabs, and the rectangular button controller is for the Garmin displays, which is helpful in rough seas, allowing you to control the chart plotters without using the touchscreen.
One other luxury feature that I have all the way to starboard is a wireless mount for my cell phone for charging. That's going to keep it good underway. Maybe I'm monitoring the Garmin's with a standalone app, or I'm controlling the radio through some Starlink, or just some downloaded music through the premium sound system on this boat. But if I want a little extra ventilation, I do have a manual opening window right here. This is also going to be handy if I'm coming up to a dock. I can see right down to the side of the boat, so I can really get up there really close, kind of fine tune the boat, and know when I need to slow down before I hit a little too hard. Lastly, I just want to talk about the overall look of this helm station. It feels like a true captain station with just the look and the finish and the trim around this. It feels like I'm on a much bigger, fancier boat. And then the overall visibility, I can see pretty much 360 degrees around me. I'm at a good elevated seating position. If I want to get a little higher, I can flip the bolster up, and I have 2 different footrests down below me that are teak, and there are armrests on the chair. And I like, and look, Solara stitching, some beautiful piping, and I can adjust this fore and aft. Let's say we just pulled up to the dock. I just leaned out. I see I'm right where I want to be. I have a partner who just grabbed the stern line, and now it's time to grab the bow line. In this Solara model, instead of going out and around, I can pass right through the forward windshield to the bow to get that line. Let's say we weren't docking, but we're actually going to drop the anchor. That forward pass-through is fantastic for quick access to the anchor, which is controlled by this electric Lumar windlass. And you see we have a bowsprit here, and we can lift this up out of the way, and that allows free access through the bow railing. And there's a swim ladder just underneath that's telescopic that can be extended down, so maybe pulled right up to a sandbar or the beach. That's easy access on and off the boat. I appreciate this bow sunshade that we're taking advantage of right now in this hot sun, held up by these carbon fiber poles. It's going to provide a good shade if you're utilizing this sun pad up here, and it looks like it has a few tricks up its sleeve as well. Let's see. The bow seating is another transformative area on this boat. Right now we have it configured for forward facing. Maybe you're watching the sunset, maybe some fireworks or something going on. It'd be a fantastic spot. If you want to take the sunshade down, this also converts into a sun pad. A few other things I don't want to forget up here are things like the cup holders, the handrails all the way around at a nice height. And you have the premium audio speakers, more cup holders, and a port light for down below. Something else I think is important to mention is the way the deck is dropped down into the hull. You have these high sides, high rails. This is going to keep everyone safe on board, including my kids if they were messing around up here. So coming back into the salon, we have this double forward-facing seat, handrail, cup holder, AC vent, USB, and a footrest down below so we can be comfortable while underway to our next destination. And also another manually opening sliding window complete with a screen. So let's say you're anchored out in a buggy environment, you want to keep the bugs out, they have screens already ready to apply. Now that's pretty cool. Whenever you're at anchor and it's time for dinner, the seat back slides forward. Then you have this pretty good sized dinette table for this size boat. I do like having this grab handle just underneath, so when you're underway on the boat, you don't need the entire leaf opened up. This is more of a safety feature right here. So 2 steps up and you're elevated at the dinette, flip the leaf out, and you have a generous table for a good meal that you just cooked up on the grill, or maybe the stove at the galley, and still plenty of overhead room so you don't feel confined and just cramped in here. And also, I think it's fair to mention there's a lot of glass around this boat, so no matter where you're anchored at a beautiful spot, you're gonna be able to take in all of the views that you crave so much. Oh man, look under there. Looks like a subwoofer and a 110 outlet. So maybe you have some work to do if you're on a laptop. This is another perfect office. Maybe it's not necessarily time for work, but time for play. I am seated perfectly above the wine chiller for easy access. And also note that this is a high-low table, which can be dropped down, the leaf opened up, and filler cushions added for an additional berth. Over on the starboard side is the galley. This has a twin Kenyon electric induction stovetop, also a deep sink for cleaning things up at the end of the evening. And you can see, I like how they have this little shelf with a little fiddle rail. You can put your little knickknacks, or if you want to put your wine glasses or whatever you're going to make, if you're playing bartender for the evening for your guests, you can do that. You have a small little storage cubby back behind here, a gauge for your water level, another 110 outlet, so maybe you're making margaritas up here. You can do so easily. Just underneath is a microwave, a couple storage drawers, actually 4, and then a generous sized refrigerator under the helm seat. There's actually another berth just up under the dinette, and if I lift this aft seat up, I can easily enter. And as I come down here, the first thing I notice is my main electrical panel. This appears to be the AC panel, controls the microwave, outlets, wine cooler, air conditioner, things like that. Also, your Victron energy gauge, so I can check on my batteries throughout the day, and my inverter controls. Now look what they've done here. They've added a few small little shelves here, which may seem insignificant, but if you're laying in here, this is your cabin for the night. This is where you're gonna lay your little knickknacks. You know, this isn't something you use while you're underway for more permanent storage, but just for those quick little items. And I can get in here and lay down, and I will say, I do find the cushion's fairly comfortable, so I don't think you need an additional mattress topper in here, but certainly the kids or the pets will be happy. And you also have a bit of storage for your personal items, a 110 outlet, USBs, and a reading light. Oh look, I bet you, yep, whole side windows. You have 2 of those for some ventilation if you need it. And look, something else I just found when I was back in the cockpit, I have a large window here, complete with a screen, so that's really a lot of extra ventilation. They took a lot of things away on this boat. Now we'll make our way down to the forward cabin. Before we go too far, I do want to note this TV, which can be enjoyed while you're sitting at the dinette. Now this door is tucked away, and as you open it up, it locks with a magnetic latch, and then we can see how well they've done with the backside of this door. In this curve, they've put in a bit of structure, and they've added in this fabric for a little shelf to catch small items, a few little cubbies or little stash pockets would be great for wine glasses, flip-flops, and then a bit more storage down below. As I make my way down 3 steps, I find myself standing in the V-berth. I have a skylight overhead that's right now letting in a lot of natural light, and it appears that there's another porthole on the side over here that's covered with a bit of fabric, so if you do want that privacy, you can get it. And there is one skylight slash hatch on the starboard side and a side port. The first thing I notice, there's quite a bit of room down here, and if I want more room, maybe to walk around or to change, I can move some of these cushions out of the way, and now I have quite a bit more space, and I can really enjoy the AC. And look at the backrest of the padding around this entire spot. It really is going to make quite a big lounging space. I have AC controls, 110 outlet up here on the bulkhead that's separating this cabin from the head. There appears to be a little swing out, little hanging hook, so that's a nice use of space. Maybe you want to hang up your foul weather gear, maybe some bathing suits that are drying, or just some clothes you don't want to get wrinkly. You can do so right up there. And then all the way forward On the overhead, you have this storage shelf. This may be a great spot to toss pillows and things like that, because if you're running with them down here, they're probably gonna all end up on the floor. This is a good place to tuck them away. There's also a shelf all the way around the back side and storage up underneath. We have a drawer here, and we have some emergency equipment in there, and access to the bow thruster are going to be just under the berth. And on the starboard side is the head. This is a wet head, but it has a decent amount of space. You have a toilet, vessel sink, just another skylight above, some more towel hanging racks off on the aft end. You have a cabinet that opens up, and I bet, yep, that's access to the back of the dash. That's very important. And you have breakers, and well, actually these are fuses back here that are well labeled, so if you have something go wrong, it's gonna be quick. Come back here and check the fuse on that. You don't have to memorize the entire boat. And there's a bit of storage in here, cabinets underneath, and a fiddle rail on a small shelf for smaller items, and a 110 outlet, so if you need a hair dryer or something like that in the bathroom, you can get everything you needed done. And a bifold door, which saves space a bit, and it's still easy to close and gives you that privacy that you need. Now let's make our way to what I think might be the best part of the boat. That's the sport bridge overhead. We access the sport bridge by this stainless steel ladder. I think this is a good time to mention that Solara does all of their stainless steel and their upholstery and a lot of their windows and glass work and cabinet work all in-house. That lets them maintain quality, and also if you need a part replaced down the road, they know exactly what it is because they made it. They don't have to go searching for it at some factory far off. You can see this ladder is well made. I have steps that are comfortable, and they're cut out, so that's going to make it easy for my feet to go from one rung to the next, or one step to the next. As I gain elevation, you really get a lot better view up here. I'm going to go ahead and close this hatch down. Now I can get a good look not only around me at this beautiful boat show, surrounded by all the beautiful boats, but I can just imagine me being in an anchorage, and I come up here to watch the sunset, because this is probably going to be the favorite place to watch anything. Or maybe the boats go by, you're anchored in a cool spot at a cool marina. This is where you're going to want to be. Of course, we have the handrail all the way around. It's going to keep you safely aboard. The bimini top, so that if you are out in the sunshine, you can be protected, and that's going to be great when you're underway. And that's probably going to be the best part about this, is being underway up here. I can just envision myself pulling up to the Bahama Bank, or cruising through Hawk Channel to the Florida Keys, or some of the creeks in the Keys. I mean, gosh, this would be the ideal boat to do that on. And I have everything that I need: trim, engine controls, another joystick, so if I want to do all my docking up here where I can really have a bird's eye view of things, this is going to be a great place to do that. Another control for that bow thruster, one Garmin screen, more Yamaha screens, autopilot, windlass, horn, VHF, compass, everything you need to be underway safely and to make those big trips. If you've been dreaming about big trips, this is a boat that you can actually do it on. And not only is there good room for me up here, but if I want some companions up here with me, because this is a family boat. If everyone wants to enjoy the same great experiences, everyone can get up here and just take it all in. That's what it's really all about. That's why you buy a boat, is for the experiences, and this boat can give you some good experiences, I feel like. You know, I really do enjoy getting on these boats because everything comes standard. It's a manageable size at 33 feet. So you can get on this boat and not feel intimidated. You still have the joystick and the bow thruster to help you in those tight situations, which is often where people will get overwhelmed. But with this boat, you can usually handle it, and you can do that cruising that you've been dreaming of, and it's American made, still has quality. So I think this opens the door for a lot of people to go cruising. I'm Captain Boat Test, reminding you that life is better on a boat.